I don't really have much to say right now
No,
that I want to start this with.
no, but I do.
I'm gonna have a lot to say. Uh, really, really.
Wow.
We're not
That's
supposed to
why.
bring out the. We haven't brought out the brooms in like 2 straight sweeps. You can't bring
See,
it out
see,
now.
I was hoping to bring the. I was hoping we did this show yesterday because my point would have been made further, but I'm still allowed because the Jays haven't won a game since we did our last recording,
Yeah,
and it would have been so much better because the White Sox swept a weekend series.
yeah.
And
That brings me to my first point. Konnor,
yeah,
um, I have something for you.
yeah.
I just gotta set it up here. Um, we're gonna have an intervention.
Wait. The intervention. Wait. The
The intervention
intervention
is for
was
you.
about me,
Yeah, it's for you.
not the Blue Jays
No,
as a whole, who hit
no, no,
100 in the
no. The
home.
intervention is for you.
Okay, all right.
For starters, we are a Blue Jays podcast.
Yes, we are. I'm
Right.
very well
What
aware.
jersey are you currently wearing?
Did you see my background?
Not the point. What jersey are you currently wearing?
I'm currently wearing a Chicago White Sox jersey.
Right.
Good jersey.
If you go on Twitter, what is your profile picture?
It's me at the Rogers Center in our merch.
In a what jersey? No.
In
what jersey?
our merch. I'm
sure,
in our merch.
That's a player merch. What jersey?
That's my Yohan Moncada White Sox jersey.
Right. I'm not saying you're directly to blame for the lack of Blue Jay success. However, since you have fully embraced this White Sox fandom, the Jays have been significantly worse.
I embraced this White Sox fandom at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but like that, you didn't fully embrace it until you showed up in White Sox gear, and then after that, everything kind of went to shit.
No,
He's got a point.
They swept the Braves. Like this is
Yeah, but whatever. We don't talk about that one because everything around it was garbage. You accurately pointed out to me in a discussion we had on Twitter that the White Sox have had a better record than the Blue Jays since the White Sox series. They are still really bad. You don't have much ground to stand on with the White Sox. They're still 10 games under 500, if I'm not mistaken, unless they won last night.
No, they lost last night. There's the same amount of games out of the division as the Blue Jays.
They are, which is insane.
Yeah,
however,
but that's to the Twins, who have the same record as us.
Yeah.
Versus the Rays, who don't lose.
Yes. Yeah. So I would just like to have this intervention for you. Okay. So that you know we care about you and we think you should be making better decisions as a podcast co-host.
It makes you feel any better. I have my Kevin Kiermaier.
I think you should be wearing that one as opposed to wearing. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Thank you.
I tried to change the vibe, so I took down the Kiermaier one because that's when we can blame the Kiermaier jersey because I did buy the Kiermaier jersey the day I went to that game. So
you know what?
But Kiermaier's been good.
Yeah,
no, but the team hasn't. Is what I'm saying.
But you pumped up Kevin Kiermaier, so maybe that worked. I can turn off my intervention.
Intervention over.
That's all I wanted to say. I hope you make better decisions going forward so that you can live a happier, more fulfilled life, not 10 games below 500.
This isn't like a thing where I hate the Blue Jays now, but it's like.
But it feels that way.
They're giving me exciting. They're giving me baseball to watch that I enjoy.
That's fine. If you're gonna be a Jays fan, you have to just sit here and enjoy the highs and the lows.
Oh, that's very true. I'm not.
And we are very much in the lows right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we all understand that this is the lows. Usually, the first episode of the week, we do Impact Players of the Week. Nate and I talked about this before you got on. We might not today.
We're going to do Impact Player and then skip both mine and Connor's.
Yeah, I think one Impact Player and the only one that I actually care to talk about this week was Danny Jansen because he had the walk-off homer in this week. And outside of that, I don't think anyone was an impact. I think guys were okay. There were some.
Kevin Gausman did go 8 innings.
He did. He had a good start. 8-3 loss. He had a good start. That's fine. Didn't really get anything from it because the offense doesn't help him out. In terms of impact, it didn't impact anything because they lost. What did they didn't win this, or they won once this week.
Yeah.
And that is the week we're talking about. And realistically, in terms of impact, the only one that made an impact on a win was Danny Jansen. So we have decided combined, unless you have an argument against us.
No.
As a group, that the impact player of the week is Danny Jansen. And that is all we needed to say.
I mean,
he had a 7-game hit streak, so that's cool. Did he get a hit, Konnor? I didn't see it yesterday.
Who?
Danny. Yeah, I
didn't
I was hoping you might have known.
Didn't he in the 9th?
Probably. I know. I know
he was on base.
They made it interesting.
Unless he walked. I think he got a hit. I think he drove in a run.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean,
Danny Jansen 0 for 4 last night.
I mean, I technically could have another impact player of the week. That is Kevin Biggio for collectively bringing together Blue Jays fans in one fury of furious rage.
Man. There's a lot to talk about on this team right now. No good reasons.
No.
Can we start with a guy that's been more disappointing than anyone on this team in my eyes? Maybe you disagree.
Our bullpen or pitch position?
He's a position player.
Should be in the rotation if we wanted to talk about most disappointing.
Yeah,
we've talked about him the 8 straight weeks.
Well, I think Manoah had a great start last week. So.
Good. I'm not gonna say great. It was good.
Yeah, I like they put Jano behind the plate, but
it looked good.
I just want to say before while we're on Manoah, what we talked about last week will not be coming true. Mitch White to the 60-day as of today.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Mitch White to the 60-day. Otto Lopez down. Adam Simber is back. And Ernie Clement.
And Thomas Hatch down too.
And Thomas Hatch down.
Oh, so Cav's not going anywhere.
Cav's not going anywhere. I thought.
Okay. I don't really understand bringing Otto up for 2 days.
No, to not even get in a game in any capacity. I don't think he did anything, did he?
I don't think so. Ernie Clement had, from what I've heard, his numbers have been pretty good in AAA. So he seems like he would have been a
better option if that was going to be the thing anyways. Yeah.
The issue was the 40-man spot. So maybe they were hoping Mitch White was going to be healthier and not have to move to the 60-day. And that swayed their decision. But who knows?
I don't know.
Let's see. In 12, he's reached base in 12 of his last 13 games, going a 9-game hit streak. He was hitting .386 with 3 home runs and 13 RBIs in May in Buffalo. So fucking Espinal clone. So
doesn't he play the corner outfield too?
He plays everywhere.
So that's a perfect guy to have.
Yeah.
Maybe he can hit more than Cav. Who knows? I want to talk about a guy that's not getting enough flack for kind of being super disappointing this year in Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think Vlad has put up good numbers. If you looked at them as a whole, I'm not saying Vlad's not a great player. He's not bad. But this is a guy that was an MVP candidate 2 years ago, whose power numbers have fallen off a cliff, and whose home and road splits are absolutely ridiculous.
They're terrifyingly.
He can't play baseball at home. It's plain and simple. He just hasn't been able to play baseball at home. He has, on the road, he's hitting .344. He's got a .413 on base, a .625 slug, good for a 1.038 OPS. Good. That's great, those numbers. He's got all 7 of his homers on the road. He's got half of his doubles, 6 of the 12. No triples, obviously. He's struck out 14 times in 96 at-bats, where he's struck out 18 times in 78 at-bats at home. And about the same amount of walks. He's doing a hell of a lot more on the road. At home, he's done nothing.
He hasn't homered since August,
200 and something days or something like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I know he's super lovable dude, and I feel like that's why he doesn't get talked about when stuff like this happens.
Brant, I just realized, were we at the game the last time he hit the home run at Rogers Center?
Did he
against the Cubs to the opposite field?
Was that his? I thought that was Teo.
I think they both hit one in that game.
Oh, maybe.
So yeah, August.
It's been a long time.
August 31st.
It's been a long time since Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been good at home. I don't know if it's the pressure or what it is, but something is not right with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. when
Definitely
he steps
not
into the
something you
Rogers.
put in tires for Vladdy.
No, it's there and it's real. Now yesterday, obviously not at home. I would argue that Vlad sort of cost us that game.
How did he cost us that game? Because
Did you
I've
see
said
it?
this,
He fielding error, didn't he? At
It was a
first, was
fielding
that
error.
yesterday?
but I maybe watched one play and that was because you fucking tweeted about it.
Wasn't there? I missed most of the game too, but I was listening to it. Didn't him and Bassett get kind of crossed up on one?
That was the second one. The first one I would say was worse. Just after everything I've said about Vlad, it kind of just reassured.
It looked like an easy scoop.
Yep. He just straight up, he stepped forward instead of towards the ball and just clanked it. Like it was in his glove and he just clanked it. It looked bad. And that led to a run on that play. And then the next batter, it wasn't Randy, somebody else. They hit
It was Siri.
Siri hits a 2-run home run that he pimped on a ball that left the yard by.
I have a
3 inches.
hilarious side note on Jose Siri specifically.
Yeah.
So in an interview when Jose Siri was with the Reds, he said that he intentionally
When was he with the Reds?
I think it was like pre-Houston or something like it was pre-Houston or some shit like that because there was a picture of him in the Reds.
Huh.
So he apparently in this interview said he intentionally bat flips against a pitcher if he thinks they're racist. I'm not making this up. Like this is something that is in paper, in print that he has said. And he's done it against Garrett Cole, and he's now done it against Chris Bassett. I'm
not going to speak to the character of Chris Bassett without knowing Chris Bassett.
But that's hilarious.
But
Jose, you're incorrect.
That's so weird.
It's very weird, but it's hilarious.
Also, pimping a homer that was a wall scraper. It's kind of bold.
Yeah.
Especially the way he did it.
It's Yasiel Puig-esque.
It had to get reviewed. Like that's how close it was. Not great.
Not great.
I don't even know where I was going with. Oh yeah, Vlad made the error, led to 3 runs in that one, and then the next inning it led to another run because Vlad made an error that bounced to Bassett, and then Bassett tried to get it to him, and he dropped that one too. Essentially 2 errors on one play, but he only gets 1, obviously. And then that led to a run, and that was 4 of the 6 runs. The other one were solo shots in the 7th and the 8th, I think it was. Not great. Vlad just has not been good enough lately. And for a guy that should be the best player on this team, he very well has not been. Offensively or defensively, I would argue.
There's 2 players that have potentially played their way out of $30 million, on an overall contract. Matt Chapman and Vlad.
I think Chappie played his way into that first and then played his way back out of it. I don't know if he was ever supposed to be that guy, but he started the year hot, obviously. I would argue Alek Manoah and Vlad have played themselves out of more money.
Has played his fucking way. If this keeps
how do you value Vlad at this point? We were talking before the year. Everyone was talking before the year about needing to sign him long term, and he wants to be here. But who is Vlad? Is he a high to mid 8s OPS guy, or is he a high 9s to a 1 dot? Because that's a very different player, and that's a lot more money.
And we also got to look at the position he plays. He plays first base.
Mm-hmm. It's not
highest paid first baseman is Freddie Freeman at $27 million a year.
Yeah, it's not a premier position.
If Vlad gets to 30, I think that's as far as he's getting right now.
Mm-hmm. But how many years are you signing him for?
I mean, he gets to free agency at age 25, 26.
He should be 25, I think.
25, so probably 9, 10.
Maybe.
He's not taking something that doesn't start with a 3. I don't even know if he's taking 300.
No,
honestly, I don't think he is.
If he gets 320 or 325, I could see it. But he wants to be in the Acuna, Soto, Judge, Tatis money.
He's just not.
He does not want to be in the Acuna money.
He
wants to be as far away from the Acuna money as possible.
He wants to be in that class of player.
In that class of player. Sorry, Acuna, that fucking Alex Anthopoulos, you wizard.
No, you're absolutely right. That's where he wants to be, but he hasn't played like that since 2021. And I don't want to say it because it might not be the reason, but he played half a year in a minor league ballpark.
He
And
had
that's where he did
21,
80% of his damage.
21 bombs between Dunedin and Buffalo.
21
And
of 38.
No, he was
48.
40.
Yeah, I think it's
Something?
48.
48.
It was less than half. It's less than half,
And
but
then
it's
they-
still
A
a
lot.
significant amount.
It's a lot of his home runs,
I
considering he
don't
played
remember.
2/3 of his home games at the minor league stadium. And like,
And I remember
I don't
like,
want to
when
call that the reason, but maybe that's just what Vlad is. Maybe Vlad doesn't have this pop unless he's in a stadium that's built for power.
because if you remember when we went back to Toronto finally that first game, I remember Vlad's average was like 345 when we 1st went back. He ended the year at what, like 310?
Yeah. He fell off.
He fucking like
He was like the only one on the team that found a way to fall off. But he
George like decided, oh, I was playing at like a 9. I'm gonna take it to a 15 when I get to the Rogers Center. And Vlad was just like, yeah, I'm gonna hit a 1 home run on the first homestand, like 2. Like
Vladdy's been, I would say, all-star caliber for a year and a half. He was elite for that year, and then he's been all-star caliber for a year and a half. I would say all of 22, he was all-star caliber first baseman. This year, I would say he's a little less than that, but he's no longer, I would say, no longer the elite hitter that he was. And I don't know.
Elite power
hitter. Damn.
Like,
yeah, sure. What are his total? Even his total numbers aren't like screaming at you as like elite hitter. Yeah, he's hitting 293. That's fine. He's got an 846 OPS. Like that's not screaming elite at me. If I'm talking elite hitters, I want you to be
How
in
many
the
guys?
top 25.
Where does that rank in OPS this year?
That puts him 44th.
I'm surprised by that, honestly. But yeah,
sitting 44th in the majors does not make you an elite hitter.
Okay, so I got the splits between the ballparks in 2021 just for reference. So at TD Ballpark in Dunedin, he was 410, 521 on base, 897 slugging for a 14-18. He had 11 home runs and 28 RBI. Then you go to Salem.
Dunedin?
Dunedin. That's
Dunedin. Like, that is a massive hitter's park too, though. And the ball was flying.
You got a 900 slugging. That was in 21 games.
That's crazy. Okay. 11 homers in 21 games?
Like, okay. And then we go to Salem Field, which is in Buffalo, in 23 games, 321, 418, 762 slugging for an 11.80 OPS, 10 home runs, 20 RBI. Then we get to Rogers Center. 35 games, 294, 368, 566 for a 935, which is still phenomenal.
Still
10
great.
Home runs. Still 10 home runs, 21 RBI. Still great. So, like,
but those are 3 different hitters.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, like
you're obviously going to hit better in Dunedin. Like, for sure, especially being in the South early in the year, the ball's jumping off your bat way more. Like. And apparently that's a bandbox too to hit. Like,
yeah, the slugging dropped off from Dunedin to Toronto over 300 points. Like,
if Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s name was Kevin Biggio, do you think he'd be getting more flack for what he's done since that year? Or does he kind of get
not necessarily because Vlad was still an all-star. Like,
he's also hitting 290 with an 840.
Like, obviously he's not putting.
We thought he was going to be great
numbers. I'm not saying that, but I think he rides a lot on the fact that he's just a really fun guy and people love him, the person, and people loved his dad, and I think that helps. I think having a legend like Vladimir Guerrero Sr. helps your legend a little bit, and people kind of look at you like, he'll figure it out. Look at what his dad did. His numbers are similar at this point in the career. Like, it's possible.
He's got to stop getting himself out or like swinging at bad pitches and making bad swing decisions, because that's what Bo did. Like, the past few years, Bo was the guy who would get himself out.
That was Vlad's issue last year, and he, like, beginning of the year, he was amazing. Like, and now he's back to it.
And if you look at Vlad in 21, he has the reason he had that run is because he was such a selective hitter that just knew when not to swing at pitches
Yeah.
and could take walks and take pitches
And
that weren't
crush
where
the
he
shit
wanted them.
pitches.
And
Like,
he would hammer it if you made a mistake. Now he's swinging at things that shouldn't be swung at, and he's not hammering the mistakes, especially at home.
So I have a question while we're on this. Do you move him out of the 3-hole?
I think so.
who do you put?
I don't know.
So
That's the thing is you can there's like Vlad.
I think this. I would
putting in?
honestly, I would rearrange this lineup quite a bit. Like I don't think Springer is your leadoff hitter right now, but he's not moving at a leadoff spot.
No.
So I think you've got two options. I think either way, Bo should be hitting 3. But do you move Vladdy up 1 and see if that sparks him a bit, or do you move him down to like 5?
Yeah.
Because I think you could easily slot a Kiermaier Witt platoon in the 2-hole, the way both of them have been hitting. Bo 3. I don't know who your 4-hole hitter is, but I don't think it should be Vlad. I think you move Vlad down to 5. Maybe it's Varsho, Chapman, Belt, one of the catchers if they start hitting. And it doesn't have to be permanent. Like
no.
But you gotta do something. Like he's still a kid.
Yeah. I think you gotta stop dealing with your stars with kid gloves. Because we've got this whole thing now, and I understand George's numbers over his career are better as a leadoff hitter, but he's just not good this year. He's had a good run as of late. He's had a good week or two, but he hasn't
been
been
good contact at the start of the year, and it was
he's been getting unlucky a little bit, but the numbers aren't there. Plain and simple.
No.
You can move him down. You don't need to have Vlad in the 3 spot just because he's Vladimir Guerrero. If he's not producing, switch it around, move it up. I don't love making the move, but if you have Kevin Kiermaier sitting in your 9-hole as legitimately your best hitter this season, I don't understand it. He's got almost a 900 OPS. He's hitting, I think, 315, 320, something like that. Like he's doing his job. And he's the most stereotypical leadoff hitter you're ever going to see. Why do you not move that around and try George in the 4 spot? George has the pop to be a 4 hitter.
George has done it before as a Blue Jay.
Right.
Like
I don't think that one's going to happen. George has the pedigree and everything. Like I get it. I kind of want to move him as well, but I don't see that happening. But I think your lineup gets significantly better, honestly, if you just go Springer, Kiermaier, Bo, and then whoever in the 4, and then Vlad 5. And
I don't love
the bottom kind of works itself out.
I don't love appeasing to guys' feelings as opposed to trying to put the best lineup together. And I think that's what you're doing when you're keeping Springer in the lead. He's done nothing to deserve being in the leadoff spot.
So you move him out of the leadoff spot. That's fine. You're putting.
I'm not even taking him out of a top of the order spot because he's still. I agree. 4.
But I'm saying, so you're putting Kiermaier leadoff spot.
I would lead off Kiermaier.
Or are you hitting 2?
Probably either Bo or Vlad. I think would be my.
And then who are you hitting 3?
You're looking at probably Chappie.
Not the way he's been hitting.
He's been hitting better lately.
I think, but also I think this a lot of the decision not to move Kiermaier and Witt specifically up is something that Whit Merrifield said on the Foul Territory podcast. He's like, if I'm up there, I can't do half the shit that I do like right now.
No, I don't want to move Witt. I think
like or spot. Even like what I'm saying is it applies to Kiermaier though. If you
I don't know if it does.
If you move Kiermaier to the leadoff spot, he's not going to take as many bases just because Bo's coming up, Vlad's coming up, as opposed to let's make shit happen at the bottom of the order. Like
he's smart. He's smart enough about it, and realistically, he's in the 9-hole, so Springer's right ahead of you. So you're not doing that in front of Springer.
It's not making a huge difference in that sense. Kevin Kiermaier is a guy that's been able to steal bases his whole career, and I would rather him be on 2 for a guy like Bo or Vlad or Springer.
He's going to run less. You're going to run less.
Yeah.
In that scenario, no matter what, I think that's kind of why I think Witt runs more than Kiermaier. I don't know the numbers this year, just from my past baseball knowledge, I would say I think Witt runs more.
Witt, I believe, is 12 for 13 or 13 for 14.
Yeah. So keep him down lower and he can run ragged wherever. Like it doesn't matter. You can you can drop him to the 9-hole and have him do exactly what Kiermaier's been doing for you, turning the lineup over.
Yeah.
Kiermaier only has 5 stolen bases this year.
Yeah, he's not running that much.
In 5 attempts.
He's just doing a lot with his legs when he puts the ball in play.
He's
He
just
doesn't
laying out
steal
a
bags.
double. Like,
Yeah.
But everyone's been doing that, really. Like, everyone's been going for the extra bag. We've been super aggressive on the bases, and you can still do that. You have to be a bit smarter about it in that scenario.
Absolutely, but I think it's the perfect spot for Kevin Kiermaier. The way he's hitting
playing
this year,
now.
there's no reason to not have him up there.
Yeah.
Maybe he falls off a bit. He probably falls off a bit. I don't think this is the Kevin Kiermaier we see for the rest of the year.
Dude, I fully expect Kevin Kiermaier by the end of the season to hit like 260, 270.
I don't know.
Like,
Drop,
You move him into the 2-hole, I bet you his average goes up.
I don't think he's going to see a lot of pitches.
No,
Why?
I think he will.
Or he's going to see. Sorry,
You're
I think he's going to see
way more
pitches
pitches.
because you're not.
Exactly, because you don't want to pitch to Bichette behind him.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to pitch to him, and you got to give him pitches to hit.
And the thing is, right now, if he's in the 9-hole, he's not seeing a lot of pitches because they're like, "Oh, the struggling Springer's behind him."
Yeah,
yeah.
So you got a guy with a 600 OPS behind him. You're not going to do much.
The
other thing too is having
OPS?
George. I think he might have put it over 7.
It was in the 5s for a minute. Like,
it was 6 something when I was there this week. I don't know where it's at now. The other thing with having Kiermaier in the leadoff spot with Bo behind him is Bo's pretty good at putting the bat on the ball. You can run all sorts of stuff with hit and runs and things like that, where you can move Kiermaier the extra base just with Bo's contact and his ability to put it the other way.
Yeah,
it just makes perfect sense to me.
I don't think it's the leadoff spot though. I think he's 2, Bo 3. I personally think that makes more sense. Just with Springer's pedigree and the type of hitters that they are. I don't know.
It's good. It's what they would do is to not move George Springer out of the leadoff spot. But I think if you're putting together the best lineup, George Springer's no longer in the leadoff spot.
The only way I think that works is if you move him to the 3-hole, because I don't think you have, like, if you're going Kiermaier, Bo, then
I'm fine with that too, I think.
But what's the point of moving Vladdy to the 3-hole if you're gonna put Chapman or Varsho or
I don't want Varsho at the top anymore. It's just not working.
Not right now, anyway, until he figures it. Until he gets it back together.
That wasn't nuke last night, though.
I did see the nuke. He did nuke the shit out of that ball.
Well, he still got the pop. You guys got the pop. 8 homers, 9 homers now.
I mean, he hit 230 last year, but he had 27 home runs. Like, like he has it.
That's who he's gonna be. Like, you hope he raises his average to like 250, and the elite defense he plays, the bombs he hits.
I said
this. Honestly, his eye too at the plate, and like his ability to lay down a bunt. Like, he does so many things right, and that's the player you want.
Yeah,
I said this.
You don't need him to hit 300.
Yeah. I said this coming into the year, and I hate and like that I'm right about it. He's the outfield Matt. He's outfield Matt Chapman.
Yeah,
I think he's got more pop though,
and he has more pop than Chapman.
I think he's like peak Matt Chapman though, like where Matt was hitting like 38
2022 Matt Chapman. Like he's 2022 Matt Chapman.
Where you're hammering balls.
No,
even like early career
19,
Matt Chapman, where he was
19 Matt
stuff
Chapman.
Like that.
19 because of the defense. Yeah, you're right.
I think Dalton Varsho is always going to have a role in this team.
Yeah,
where because his defense is so good, I just think we got to not pretend that he's a top of the order bat.
That's a
lot of pressure. Sorry,
absolutely.
That's so much pressure to be like, hey, you're on a new team. Just hop right in. 4. You've never played on a contending team before, but hop right in and hit 4 behind Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette.
Because he was in the top 4 at Arizona, who was a developing team, and it's like, oh, now he hit 4.
Was he top 4?
Yeah, he was hitting top 4 a lot of the time, unless it was against the lefty where they had him like 7-8, which the Jays do now. But yeah, he went from a developing team to like, oh, hit 3-hole on a World Series contending team sometimes. Like, if not, you're hitting 4. Like,
I don't know if you guys will agree with this one, but I think he would be a phenomenal 9 hitter with what he can do with the bat and his speed and like his ability to run the bases. Like having him at the bottom to turn the lineup over, I think would be phenomenal.
I like more of a contact guy in the 9 spot who's going to have the higher average. I'd prefer him in like 6, 7.
I also think the problem with Dalton Varsho is something that he can't control. Is that Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno are going through the hottest streaks of their lives.
Yeah, and
everybody's
kind of
looking at that now.
souring. Yeah,
like
that's
because
fair.
Blue Jays fans, because we've never seen Lourdes Gurriel Jr. be one of the best hitters in baseball for a month.
It happens.
We know how that story plays out. Like,
yeah,
every Jays fan does.
He's batting like 315 right now. Ends out about 280. Like he'll have a month where he hits like 0.7, like 079. Like, but
I didn't write enough down for what if we would have done this podcast on Sunday night. I was ready to yell for like an hour and a half. I was just so frustrated with this team right now.
Like I was too. Like it's fully just.
But at this point, I feel like I've calmed down. And after watching that Rays game last night, like they played a good game. Let's be real here. I know you guys didn't see it, but for the whole game, they were driving in runners in scoring position. They were getting on, and they've been getting on for the entire week. When you really sit back and think about it,
they went 5 for 50 on I think in the last 2 series with runners in scoring position. The Orioles and the Yankees.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's fucking atrocious.
That's bad for sure. However, it's the 50 that you're kind of looking at as like, well, they had a lot of runners on base.
If that is instead of 5, if that's 10 for 50.
Yeah.
There's at least
it's probably 3 or 4 wins.
2 or 3 more wins
probably.
In there. Like,
and that's bad luck.
That's
you can't say that. Like that's how baseball goes. You go through these stretches. They could easily we could sit down and watch the game tonight. They could reel off 10 in a row, and would anyone bat an eye?
No. Absolutely not.
It's
just a matter of finding holes when there's guys on. There's like the only difference. There's the one thing they're not doing right now.
There's so many factors. It's like if we were in any other division, we'd be like, okay, this is your shittiest stretch of the year.
We'd still be in first. I think the Jays right now have the 8th best record in the majors.
Wait,
sit 5th in their division.
Wait.
Something
we're 3 games above 500, and we're still a top 10 team record-wise.
I think so. I could, unless that changed after last night's game.
Hey, you said this
could have been before last night.
You said this last episode. What the fuck is this baseball season?
I don't know. Like you look at all the power rankings, the Jays dropped significantly this week. Like every one that I've seen put out, but pretty well everyone has them 8th. The entire AL East is in the top 5.
I think Ben Verlander, I saw them he dropped them to 10.
Yeah, they're still a top 10 power ranking team by pretty well everyone who puts out a power ranking.
Because they've had a bad week. They haven't even been bad. They've had a bad week.
Also, I think if this bad week happens against the Rangers and the Mariners, as opposed to Yankees and Orioles,
thank you. I did.
Then this entire thing changes. We're talking a lot different. I
don't think so. I think I'd be happier with that because you're losing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel
I thought you were saying
fans are so pissed because it's the Yankees and Orioles as opposed to the Rangers and the Cardinals.
Can we get over the perception of that garbage, please? Losing games to AL East teams isn't great, and I know you lose a game in the standings. But what's the difference between losing to the Rangers and the Orioles beating the Marlins? You're losing the same amount of ground regardless. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is how many wins you have at the end of the year. I don't care if we get 101 wins against mostly AL East teams. If we end up with 101 wins, you're probably going to have a shot at the division. I don't give a shit if
the issue is you don't play. It's how many 6 less games against divisional opponents this year. That's the big thing because
the balance schedule really changes a lot.
It does because you kind of really have to take advantage of the games in division to make up ground in the division. That's where it is. If, like you said, your scenario, the Orioles beat the Rangers or whoever you said, and we lose to the Mariners, it ends up being the same net result. It's just you gotta kind of capitalize when you're playing them. It is what it feels like this year.
I'm kind of off of that. I don't really it would be great to beat the Orioles and the Red Sox and the Yankees all year and do that. But it really doesn't mean much at the end of the day. Does it hurt a little bit more? Maybe. I hate losing to teams in our division just because they're rivals. We see them a lot, and I'm sick of losing them. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Control what you can control. Win your games when you can win them. And if you end up with enough of them, you're going to end up in the postseason. I don't expect Boston to continue to be this good. I really don't expect Baltimore to continue being this good after watching what they were this week.
They're 15 games over 500. Like,
I can't expect them to like looking at that team. They don't wow me. That roster.
There's a couple
really,
players that wow you.
There's
like,
a couple. Don't
Cedric,
get me wrong.
Rutschman.
The interesting thing is going to be the deadline this year, and I think it's going to be interesting. Like, because normally everyone waits till the deadline, but I think I think you're gonna need a lot more early trades with the balanced schedule and the fact that you got to make up ground in the division when you can.
Yeah,
I think there's also just a shit ton of teams that should be buyers right now.
Oh yeah. Well, and they're one of them. Like they've got, I forget who the three guys are, but I forget who was saying it. But the Orioles have three prospects that are MLB ready. Drew Jones being one of them.
Drew Jones?
Or Jackson Holiday. No, Jackson Holiday. Jackson Holiday. Sorry.
Didn't Drew Jones just come out of high school?
There's Colton Cowser.
So did Jackson Holiday.
Yeah, they were in the same draft. Holiday and Drew Jones were in the same
draft.
Yeah,
they said he could be MLB ready by the end of the year. Like he's tearing the cover off the ball.
Like Holiday is really good. And then there's Colton Cowser, who I'm shocked isn't on the roster.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the guy that came up for them last year? DL Hall, is he still here?
DL Hall, I don't think he's up right now, but he's a good one too.
There's another position player. I don't remember who it was, but they said it was Cowser, and I don't remember.
You know who's not good?
I think it was Kjerstad.
Grayrod
he's been bad.
First couple.
That's the thing. You could trade one of those guys and get a starting pitcher.
Grayrod's in their bullpen right now.
Like,
it's nuts. But looking at the standings right now, realistically, Tampa, Baltimore, New York, Boston, Toronto, Minnesota, Detroit, Cleveland, maybe the White Sox, Texas, Houston, LA, maybe Seattle should all be buyers right now.
Did you say Boston? I think you skipped Boston.
I think I said every team in the AL East.
The only teams out of it, like right now, are Oakland and Kansas City. If you want to be, maybe the White
and like I would argue based on record that Chicago is not pretty.
I think,
but they're also not that far out.
I don't think you're out of it in the Central, man.
No, and also Chicago kind of controls their own because they've had a stretch. They're in the middle of a 13-game stretch against the AL Central, so like. They could easily get back in that division.
While we just mentioned teams that are out of it, the San Diego Padres now have less runs scored, I think it was as of last night, than the Oakland Athletics this year. By one.
Someone, I think it was Trevor Plouffe or Chris Rosa said this.
They're up now.
The fucking similarities between the Padres and the Blue Jays are scary. Like,
young.
The Padres team should be better though.
That Padres, but it's just the talent level on both teams. The amount of shit that they talk, both teams.
Sure, a lot of characters.
A lot of character, like
the lack of bullpen.
The lack of
bullpen names. Anyways, I don't think our bullpen names,
other than but yeah.
Are the San Diego Padres dead?
No.
They're 8 games out.
Are they really? Well, dead is.
They might have they're 3.5 out of the wild card spot.
Yeah,
I was gonna say dead is in division dead maybe, but wild card not fine.
There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in front of them in that wild card race.
And it's also what month of the year, Brent?
May.
Okay.
And I've said it's May a lot of times, and I get that. But they are not winning anything right now.
Yeah.
They're losing games that they should not be losing.
Well, we just talked about teams that should be buyers in the AL, but if you go through the NL, who's really dead in the NL? It's the Nats, the Reds.
The Nats were dead when they showed up.
The
Rockies are dead.
The Rockies, is that it?
I would say the Cardinals are not dead anymore. They're
they're playing really good baseball.
Could be buyers.
I think that's it. There's 5 teams that are sellers, and everyone else should be buyers at this point.
I think by the time the deadline comes around, though, I think you're gonna see Miami, San Fran, maybe the Cubs.
If Miami's still competing at that point, though,
but Miami's.
I wonder how many years ago was it? Was it? I forget the fucking guy. He went to the Twins and then the Yankees 2 weeks later. He's a pitcher. You guys
No,
remember
Sonny,
that?
no.
I thought
No.
you were gonna say like Josh Donaldson because that.
I was thinking
No.
Sonny Gray for some
He
reason.
he went to the Twins like 3 weeks before the deadline, and then they just fell off, and he went to the Yankees.
Can't remember that one.
Generic white dude, I believe. Or no. It was Jaime Garcia. That was a few years
Oh, that
ago,
would check
wasn't
out.
it? Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
look it up.
I think there was someone else that did it more recent, but I remember Jaime Garcia doing it.
Maybe actually.
Blue Jays legend Jaime Garcia. Let's
It was
just keep that in mind.
2017. Yeah, he pitched one game with the Twins.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
One game with the Twins, and he went to the Yankees. That's wild.
I think you could see something like that. I think you're right in the fact that the deadline should kind of be moved up for a bunch of teams right now.
Because what's it, like July 20 something?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing trades mid
End
to
of
end of
June?
June. Yeah.
Do
I think-
what
I
the
think you
Blue Jays
should.
did in 21.
Mhm.
Like that, those Simber and Richards trades came in like basically early June.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if even the Jays dabble in that. Like, I don't think Simber and Richards really are gonna have a role in Bass on this team down the stretch with the guys we got coming back, probably.
I think more
And-
so Simber and Richards than Bass, but like
Yeah, but you could trade like Simber and Richards are still useful relievers on a team.
yeah,
Like, I'm sure there are plenty of teams that would take them in their bullpen.
Mhm.
mhm.
My thing right now is I don't know if the Jays are going to be among those early teams because where's the hole on this team? What
It's
are
your
we fixing?
bullpen and your fifth starter right now.
Is the bullpen a
And-
problem right now?
I mean, this could potentially segue us into the returns of Chad Green and Hyunjin Ryu.
Right.
Hyunjin Ryu, like it came out today. The target for Hyunjin Ryu is the All-Star break, coming back after the All-Star break.
That's
So
July, mid-July.
mid-July.
That's
And
their target.
that's
He's
their
apparently much
He's
more aggressive
trying-
with that.
Yeah,
And he said he feels
but
really good. Both of them
also-
were throwing bullpens. Was it yesterday
It was
or
today.
Sunday?
I think
Today.
it was today they throw the bullpens. And Hyunjin, have you guys? There's a video out. Hyunjin Ryu looks skinny. Like he looks. Hazel May said he looks svelte. Is
Spell?
svelte. SVELTE. Like,
Can I get the
mean,
dictionary definition of svelte?
Let's do the svelte.
Is this a real word?
Yes, unless Hazel May just svelte meaning. God, no, not the website.
There's a website for svelte?
Slender and elegant.
Slender and elegant.
Well, that's definitely a different Hyunjin Ryu than was here before, because I would not say he was slender. He might have been elegant, but
Always elegant. What's the
There, I just put
opposite?
the image of him in the thing.
What's the opposite of slender?
Alec Manoa.
Plump. He was plump and elegant.
He was a plump boy.
what's the word
Huh.
for plump and elegant?
I don't know.
Plelegant.
Our Plelegant man is coming back, and now
Mhm.
he's spelt, apparently.
Yeah. Now he's actually like he looks.
Because he looks younger.
He does look. Oh, what's the facial hair? The facial hair is gone too. Like
Uh,
the facial hair makes him like look. Yeah.
Ryu's one of the most baby-faced people you'll ever see. Though.
Yeah.
Right.
He's also
He's always gonna look young.
he's like top 3. Like when you come back, just please do well. Like
That's
please-
kind of that.
for
that's
you.
kinda what I
like
wanted to say.
need him to do well. Like I.
Do we expect him to be good?
What's good? What are we defining as good?
Good.
I expect him to have a starting job for the rest of the season when he comes back.
I think they go 6-man after the All-Star break.
I don't know if he has a playoff spot, and I don't know if they go 6-man. I know it's worked for some guys,
I think he
but
can
I could
earn
also see.
a playoff spot.
Oh yeah,
Like Ross
I
Stripling.
I
Like he-
think yes, but I think that Kikuchi maybe ends up in the bullpen as a late inning high leverage guy because his stuff's going to tick up another 2 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Mesa's stats have been recently, but I know
They're not.
I know the Mesa
He's
vibes
not
just
Tim
hurt.
Mesa. Yeah.
The Mesa vibes, the expected vibes on Mesa, not high,
Awful.
but the
Awful,
production,
like third percentile.
the production is like pretty good. Like
Great, and I hate it.
like
Because I don't understand how he's good.
yeah,
He's got a
but if,
1.13 ERA this year. I know
yeah, he doesn't
ERA
like,
for
but
relievers doesn't mean a ton,
But on
When it's
Hyunjin
that
Ryu,
low, it does.
Yeah.
that does mean it. But like on Hyunjin Ryu, I don't expect him. Literally, just if your ERA can be like a 3.7 to a 4, like I'll take it.
I want him at 3.5.
Because I'm not expecting him to come back in like 2020 Ryu. Like
No,
like,
but Ryu for most of his career, I believe, has been a low threes pitcher. He's been hurt a lot, but he
true.
is.
Yeah, the one image that we do, the image that we do have of Hyunjin Ryu is him just being like hurt and sore all the time. So
I think genuinely asking a 3.5 of him isn't that much. I think that's very attainable for him.
yeah, I'm just
Well, that's
setting
what
my
you're paying him to
expectations-
do.
I'm just setting my
realistically.
expectations very low.
Yeah.
Like,
And the
In
way
fact,
guys
like-
have come off TJ recently, like it seems like it's nothing. So
yo, we come All-Star break, Hyunjin Ryu's humming 94 or 95.
I mean, based on what his contract says, 3.5 should really not be that unattainable.
no, but it is coming off TJ and
yes.
other factors.
Yep.
But
Sure, but we paid this guy to be the ace of the staff back when we paid him.
Dude, he's getting
The very least you could do is be in the middle of the staff.
He's getting like the third highest amount of money. Well, actually, he's getting the fourth like highest AAV on the rotation, I think.
Right.
Like,
well, is he?
Is Bassett above him?
Because Bassett's
Bassett is.
Bassett's 21.
Okay.
Gosman's 22. I think.
And Brios.
Brios like maybe on par with Ryu.
No, I think
maybe just under.
I think he's just below Gossman, but longer AAV.
Yeah, and then it kind of like and then he reused it 20 per.
So. Quickly back on Tim Mesa. He's pitched 21 games, 16 innings. That's that part doesn't thrill me very much.
My question would then also be: is a lot of his appearances just 2/3 of an inning or a third of an inning?
I can find that out for you quickly, but I would assume yes.
From what I remember, I believe they've been bringing him in a lot with that one tough lefty coming up to end the inning,
and he doesn't get him.
And he doesn't. Well, yeah, you remember that specific first game of the season where he had Gorman, he had Donovan and Newt Bar. He didn't get either of them.
Well, he did it the other day too. He came in for Rizzo.
Was it Rizzo? It was Rizzo.
2 outs. Rizzo at the dish. Didn't get Rizzo, but got Flavor. I think it was.
Yeah. Like he's getting righties.
It just makes no sense to me. I don't understand.
We didn't really. Are we going to go through the games at all, or are we just not?
I mean, there's one certain thing that we kind of need to talk about.
There's one thing I want to talk about in last night's game.
I mean, there's one thing in the Orioles series that we need to talk about.
Okay, well, you go with that then first.
Tim Schneider.
Games. We'll get to
I forgot about that.
Like the fact that we didn't get to that yet is what's like surprising me. But Tim Mesa's
games played, right? A third, 1. A third, 1 and 2/3. 2/3, 2/3, 1 and 2/3, 2/3, 2/3. It's all over the map.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
But yeah, we need to.
That seems to be the way lefty relievers have always been. Not as much so with the.
Well, the minimum I figured would end that, but
no. But then what managers have started doing is bringing them in with 1 or 2 outs, and then being like, okay, inning over, you're done. Like, because you can pull them then. Because I think if you bring them back out, they have to like.
No. What did I say? He pitched
21 games.
21 games. 12 of those games, he's pitched less than an inning.
Okay, that makes
pretty big percentage of games.
Pretty big percentage.
I find that crazy to me in a
that's lefty relievers,
league where you have to go a minimum 3 most of the time.
That's lefty relievers now. Like, crazy. But yeah, John P. Schneider. How do you fucking forget that your pitching coach went out to talk to your ace already in the inning?
I gotta be honest, I forgot. But it's not my job to.
I didn't see it live, so
I didn't either. But like it was.
Was it a long inning?
No, it was like the 4th batter of the inning that he did it. So that's why I was a little confused when they called it. Because I don't remember seeing Pete go out there either. I was there.
Here's my thing. Pete Walker, Don Mattingly. You see him walking out there. Your first immediate thought is, why are you're gonna take him? You're gonna pull him now? Like you're gonna do the thing? Like,
Well, I mean, it was the right time to pull him. Let's just clear that up. It was time.
But John Schneider fucking says I fucked up, and then 10 minutes later, immediately backtracks, being like, "No, it was the right time to take him out, but you still fucked up." Like what?
The quote is completely stupid, but also he's right. Like he did fuck up. He didn't end up wanting to pull him, but coming out of there, his intention was to pull him, and it should have been to pull him because at that point you could see it falling apart. I think he had 2 walks in the inning. I could be wrong.
I think,
but it didn't look pretty for Alek Manoah anymore, and it was time.
You know what he wanted to do? He wanted to do what he did in that 8th inning with Chris Bassett. He wanted to go out there and be like, "All right, how you feeling? You good to finish it?" And then you realized, "Oh fuck, I can't let you finish it."
He wanted to give Alek Manoah that moment where he has his confident bit where it's just like, "Go sit your ass down. I got this."
Yeah, exactly.
But I think he should have came out there with the intention to pull Alek Manoah, which was the right decision to make. But he was going to give him a chance to be Alek Manoah and say, "No, this is my game. Get the fuck out of my face." But
I mean,
forgot about the Pete thing.
I can't believe I'm saying it. Was this Saturday's game or Sunday's game?
Saturday.
In hindsight, so like at the time of the game was going very fucking well. And then
but that inning was not.
That inning was not. The game was like Blue Jays were up, like things were looking decent, and then it turned out to be a good decision eventually because you got out of that inning, and then you go up 5-2, and then holy fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, grand scheme of the game, that decision didn't do anything.
I think grand scheme of things. I think just small tangent. I think my least favorite pitch in baseball now is the slider. Like in general, like I think it's my least favorite pitch.
Yeah.
Because Jordan Romano,
when it works, it's great.
When it works, it's great. But Jordan Romano, you see that Ryan O'Hearn can't touch your fastball, and what does that was Kirk behind the plate or Jano? Jano, what do you do, buddy? You just say, "Oh, hang a slider to him. You can't touch velocity, hang a slider."
Yeah. Jordan Romano's a weird situation for me.
I'm not. This isn't an indictment on Jordan Romano. I'm not. I didn't.
No, but I think we do need to talk about it because he's seemingly blown a lot of games lately.
It's the third save.
I
third.
Yeah, don't want him to be our closer come playoff time.
Liam Hendricks.
I don't know.
Jordan Romano has given up a run in 3 of his last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games.
I think
so. 70% of the time he's come in, he's given up nothing in his last 10 games. If we keep going further than that,
I think
that's honestly, if he's a reliever, sure, but from your closer, I don't love that.
Yeah, I think this is honestly, but this I think is one of the Jordan's. Granted, you said this about anybody on the team. This is one of his worst stretches as a closer. Like
giving up runs in 5 games total all year.
Yeah, this is one of his
4 games total.
This is one of his worst stretches. Like
he's a high traffic guy too, though. That's one thing I don't love about him as a closer. I don't love the amount of guys he puts on base.
He's always been that guy.
Oh yeah, it always feels busy when he comes into the game, and I don't love it. It's not like 1, 2, 3, we're out of the inning.
But you live with it because he gets the clutch strikeout or the clutch like fly ball pop up. Like
he has 2 blown saves in his last 4.
I think I remember because didn't he started the year like 8 for 8, and then had that Angels game?
Pardon me. He has 2 blown saves in his last 4 appearances. 2 of his last 3 save opportunities have been blown saves.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, he went like 7 for his first 7, and then
had 9 in a row.
9 in a row, and then that Angels game was his first blown save.
He had a loss in the Yankees game because he came in when it was tied. Oh, pardon me. No, he only had 4 in a row. And then he blew one in the Angels game. And then he went 5 more. And then he blew another one. I mean, his season numbers aren't great.
No, but like I can't look at ERA anymore with relievers. Like
he's got a 1.21 whip. I mean, as the guy that's supposed to be the best reliever in your rotation, it's not great.
Yeah, it's not.
But he's also not bad. It's not at a point where we should take Romano and use him in a Trevor Richards situation.
No, hell no. You're talking crazy. But I think, Brant, one of your hot takes may need to come true eventually and go even a step further.
Nate?
I think eventually you be my if Jordan gets injured, I think of it like knock on wood. I think Nate eventually goes in there.
Who's your closer right now if Jordan goes down? It's not Swanson because he can't do it.
That's why I'm saying I think it's Jordan.
I think it's Swanson.
It's Swanson or Jordan. I mean, not
He's had
Swanson
2 shots
or
at
Nate.
it and he blew them both. If
Swanson or Nate, I think. Like, because it's not Jimmy.
I don't think your closer come playoff time's on the roster right now. I think you
Maybe not.
take a big swing and do that.
Liam Hendricks could be out there depending on how the rest of the White Sox season goes.
Daniel Bard. I don't know how he's doing, but like,
I don't love that. I also don't love Nate as your closer because of the contact rate.
Popular guy in Kansas City.
No.
You know what? I thought about that. It's an unpopular vote, but he's kind of figured it out again.
Sure. Let him figure it out at home.
He's pumping 104 again.
Apparently we can have Timmy Trumpet Jr.'s also been disgusting this year.
Oh, Timmy, yeah, he's
but
Alexis Diaz. Yeah, he's been filthy.
What if we just go get Edwin Diaz? Is he going to be back by the postseason?
Dude, he might not be back until like midway.
That's another team. That's another team.
Then he wants to pitch in the postseason, right? What's his contract? Stupid long though, isn't it?
Yeah, he just got 5 for 110.
He got like 20 a year.
Yeah, I think he just got the Kevin Gausman deal.
I take it back. Yeah,
but yeah,
I don't know. Jordan's a weird one. I don't really know what you do there.
I think like this is probably just the best. If Jordan Romano was on the 2020 Houston Astros, I think he's maybe the 7th inning guy.
Yeah.
Behind like Presley, Montero, Abreu.
Well, then at that point he gets DFA'd because if he's not in the save situation, he's useless.
Oh, you're right.
So, yeah. I want to give props to Santiago Espinal a little bit because in the game that he got hurt, he went 3 for 3, and he actually looked like he was starting to come back around. And then he got hurt. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do? Back on John Schneider. Sorry, I meant to say this when we're talking
jumping all over the place just because it's the shit fest. Like,
yeah.
As the team has been a shit fest, so it's
I get a real kick every time the Jays go on some sort of losing skid in the amount of people that go fire insert manager's name here. At some point, do we not think maybe there's an issue above said manager? Because you can scream about the manager and what they do all day long, but John Schneider's not the one out there not driving runs in.
Mm-hmm. It's also a thing because the team that just went to the World Series, granted they lost, fired their manager mid-season.
Mm-hmm. Sure, but so did the Angels.
So did the Jays last year.
So did we. We didn't do anything. I don't know if the catch-all fix is just be like, yeah, let's fire John Schneider. Because what has John Schneider really done wrong in this?
It's
season?
the easiest move to kickstart. To give your team a kick in the ass.
Yeah, being like
it's the only real move mid-season to give your team a kick in the ass.
Sure, but everyone's fix is Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly's in the room already.
Was fucking garbage as a Marlins manager.
And he's in the room. You're not even changing anything.
I think again, I don't even think Brant, to your point, I don't even think we have to go above him. Go below him. It's the same people for the last 7-8 years, other than John Schneider and Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
Like, Louis Rivera was the third base coach for those ALCS teams in 2015 and 2016.
Louis Rivera's never been a good base coach.
Like, he's been there the whole time. Guillermo's been here for like 7. Guillermo's been here for a while, but I think he got hitting coach at 19. Pete Walker's been here for 30 years, it feels like. Like,
Hudgens has been here.
Hudgens has been here for a minute.
Since the entire Montoyo tenure, I believe.
So yeah, it's not.
I'd look at your hitting guys, man. Like that's where I'd go. Personally.
You don't need to change the last name for your hitting coach. Just change the first name. Fuck Guillermo, get Victor.
Oh, true. I was like, what the hell?
Like V-Mart's around the team now. Like if.
I don't know, man.
Before anybody says it out there, I don't think you guys would say this. No, fuck off, Dante Bichette. We don't want you back.
No.
Like no to Dante Bichette. But like,
well, if you say no to Dante Bichette, you got to say no to Aroldis Chapman too. Those are the two things.
Yeah, but Dante's not
same shitbag.
You're telling me
He helps your team win. He helps your team win.
Yeah, but it's.
I don't want either of them. I don't know, man. At what point do we blame the hitting coaches, or do we blame the hitters that just aren't getting it done? Like, how much effect does a hitting coach have on
Oh, not
guys
much.
guys like this?
I mean, granted, we are saying this in a vacuum. The Jays were one of the best offenses last year.
That's what I mean. Like, we're talking about a week-long stretch where they just couldn't drive in runs. That's not the hitting coach's fault. That's not John Schneider's fault. It's the hitters for not or not even the hitters. It's the tough luck situations where you happen to roll over on a ball when it matters.
Is it me?
I don't love some of the approaches.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
That's a hitting coach.
Yeah. Is it me, or did we not have this same issue around the same time last year?
Yeah, we did.
Runners in scoring position.
Yeah, we did.
And
the year before, I'm pretty sure.
Is it just the Jays? Like, is it just like?
Yeah, and then it was like 2 weeks from now we fired Montoya, wasn't it? It was later than that, obviously.
No, we fired. We remember that. Me and Branch remember specifically because that was a year. I think we fired him mid-July.
July.
It was like mid-July. It was after that 4-game road trip in Seattle where they got swept.
Yeah.
And they came home, beat Philly, and then it was like.
I would like to talk about last night's game just briefly.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Bassett looked good again. 2 earned.
Sure.
Yeah, he didn't.
The 3 homers aren't great, but one shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
The other 2, Randy's Randy, and
I mean,
it was low, not low,
really,
low.
Really. But I also think you're playing a team that's on pace to like break every home run record. So like, 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna give up a couple homers. Like,
sure. I don't know. He was good. I don't have issues.
I had a couple question marks in extra innings. Did either of you guys watch?
In the Orioles series?
Or no, sorry, not extra innings. In the ninth last night.
Oh, Belt
I didn't see the 9th, but
they pinch hit Belt for Kiermaier.
Granted, Belt did come through and got a base
hit. It worked, but I don't really understand that one.
I don't either.
And then before that, Kirk hit a single, and they didn't pinch run. I get he's catching and Jansen is in the game, but that is a scenario where you just lose your DH.
And then they
or you emergency catch Varsho and you put someone in the outfield.
And then what I found even funnier was Belt got the base hit, then got pinch ran for Cav.
So side note on that, is Otto not faster than Cav?
Otto was faster. Otto is
I don't know.
As fast, if not faster than Cav.
Okay. Anyways, but that
makes
sense.
Cav's a more experienced base runner.
Well, no, you forget experience, Brant, because
he slid over a bag.
He'll slip off the bag.
Who cares?
Kirk
also
being the run that makes it down to a 2-run. No, I think it was a 2-run game because he scored.
Yeah, Kirk made it a 2-run game, but I think Belt at the time
or 3.
So
Belt's run is more impactful, and you need that one more. Like that one, I kind of understand, but
I like to pinch run for Kirk every chance you can get.
No. Belt's run wasn't important. The turn into Cavs run wasn't important. George was the tying run.
Right.
First.
Yeah. But neither of them matter. It's more important than Kirk's.
Yeah.
But I still
also I think it's also the top of the 9th. You have to play the bottom of the 9th. So you really don't want to run into the situation where you use Varsho as an emergency catcher just to try and get 1 run.
Then you lose
Kirk's
your DH.
the tying run,
then lose your DH. You still have other bats on the bench you can pinch hit for.
Yeah, but then what if you tie that up and now you got to deal with who coming in off the bench to hit? Cav, Lucas. Like you're not looking at very pretty options off the bench right now.
No, that's fine.
So it's just I don't really care if you pinch run or not for the guy that's scoring to put you down 3.
He ended up scoring, so it doesn't matter.
He doesn't matter in that scenario. The only thing that would have sucked is if he gets doubled off. But
as the lead runner, he's scared watching him run from second to home on that ball to left field.
I don't know if I would have sent him, but he made it.
Cav also
arms just kept going.
Double off this week.
I'm fine with that. I don't think there's enough there to be concerned about. Personally.
Also, while we're on it, Kirk caught Gossman, I believe, on Sunday. Did he not?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
and because Jano caught Manoa.
Yeah, and Gossman still threw well. Did he not?
Yeah, he went 8 innings, gave up 3 runs. Like
well enough. He should have got a win.
It works.
Yeah, he should have
Like,
got a win. Like he
we,
pitched
but
well.
I'm just saying, we talked about last week not loving Kirk catching some of the other guys. It's fine. Like,
Yeah. The
you're a
strikeout
major league
numbers
pitcher,
were
you
way
should
down for
be a
Kevin
personal
Gosman.
catcher.
I didn't love that.
So you're telling me that? So is Alejandro Kirk the ground ball pitcher or the ground ball catcher?
I think so. Because I'm pretty sure Gosman only had 4.
Yeah, Manoah had I think it was 2 walks and 5 Ks. Like his walks were down in his start. Like
I'm not saying that means Jano calls a better game, but I'm not saying it.
And someone did bring it up that basically Alek Manoah and Jose Barrios have very similar like pitch mixes.
Yeah, like, except one's nasty.
Yeah, it's 4-seam, 2-seamer, slider, and then changeup, or sort of. But like, and Jano's always. I think in like with the Blue Jays, Jano and Barrios together have like a 3.4, and Kirk with Barrios has like a 6.9. Like,
because Jano's better. Nobody wants to have the conversation, but Jano's better. No, it's time to get on board. Plain and simple.
Should wear glasses. I was gonna wear glasses today, but I didn't.
I still have them. Put them on just for fun.
No, I was okay. Random side note. My intention was that I thought we were gonna do this episode yesterday, but we couldn't because Nate was a drunkard.
No, I was not drunk yesterday. I was drunk Sunday.
Fair, but I was bringing out the broom. I was also gonna wear the glasses because I was gonna feel good. Like I was gonna feel good because I was gonna wear the glasses, and the White Sox sweep, and the Blue Jays got swept, and that was pre-intervention. So, like,
speaking of the intervention, what happened to your Jays jersey you were wearing? Why are you back?
Yeah. Still back here. Come on, now.
Why are you not wearing it?
Because the White Sox game has started.
Because we're going around the league, and he doesn't need to anymore.
We haven't got there yet.
Well, what else is there to talk about the Jays?
Nothing.
Exactly. So we're going around the league.
Yeah.
Ryan Mountcastle. I'm so tired of Ryan Mountcastle.
Yeah.
Fucking tired of Ryan Mountcastle.
We could start with the Orioles too, like
sure,
because their City
I want
Connects.
to rant about the Yankees.
We can in
but
2 seconds.
We'll get
through this. The Orioles City Connects were fully revealed, and if keen listeners of the podcast,
no orange pants. I didn't look.
May 17th.
No,
I have the clip that I could bring after. But I said that if the Blue Jays got swept by the Baltimore Orioles, we would go to a Blue Jays game, full uniform, in orange pants. It was confirmed. We have to wear the Baltimore Orioles City Connects with orange pants, full uniform at a game.
I think the orange pants was the caveat. I think they needed to announce orange pants too.
I would just like to say I did not agree to any of this.
This is more so for me and Brant
during this because I knew this was stupid, and the way the Jays were playing could easily very well get swept.
Yeah, Brant's exact words were, "I'm in." So, July 31st, August 1st, August 2nd, August 3rd. One of those 4 days, the Flight Deck Podcast. 2 of our 3 members will be in full uniform.
That's just.
I'm gonna try and come and get content for you guys.
At full uniform in the Baltimore Orioles City Connects.
I'm pretty sure the caveat was orange pants.
No, the caveat was not orange pants.
I'm pretty sure that was in there.
I don't believe it was orange pants.
Brant,
I remember mentioning orange pants.
Brant, I can send you the clip of our fucking video.
I don't want to do it.
Like, we got to do it.
I don't want to do it.
We got to do it, Brant.
I hate that team so much.
Going back on your word, Brant? Fucking shame.
It was your word that I said I'm in.
Yeah, so it's your word too. Yeah, Nate will just be there for fucking moral support.
No, I'm gonna chirp the shit out of you and make sure everyone else chirps you too.
I hope so.
Can we talk about these jerseys for a second? I thought they were coming out before Cincinnati's, and I feel like that would have been. I feel like that would have been better because they really just are a worse version of Cincinnati's.
Yeah,
I think what they did with we put the inside of the jersey as colorful shit. Just put the colorful shit on the outside.
Just keep the orange pants.
These are one of the worst jerseys I think I've ever seen.
This sucks.
It's just so plain.
Do you want to know they put out like I think I put it in the thing, but like the release for like how they explain the uniform. It says from the outside it looks all black and white, which it is. You can't see what you're not looking for. Threaded from the artistic tapestry of our city, the palette is like our people, colorful, vibrant, and quirky. So the inside of the jersey is the colorful part.
It's so dumb.
That's one of the dumbest things ever. And they
It's
didn't even
so
go
dumb.
like the socks aren't even full colorful, are they? Isn't it just like part of the socks?
It's like the top of the basically like the top of the sock is the colorful.
Yeah, that's it. And then the rest
which
is
also
black.
doesn't help that like 80% of your players don't wear high socks. Like
it's so dumb.
They didn't go anything colorful. I gotta look at these again. I don't think they went anything colorful on the hats, even though, did they?
No, it's literally just like a bee.
Black hat.
It's a bee. It's a black hat with like a cursive bee.
It's so dumb.
Like it's not great. Like
and a white belt.
And a white belt. Yeah, a white belt.
And black pants.
Have the colorful belt. Like, do a colorful belt. Like at the very minimum. Like
they should have gone tie-dye pants.
Like
the inside.
They should have went orange pants.
Also, forget
like even we handed them the roadmap.
Do the colorful if you're gonna do the colorful shit, make the stripe on the pants the colorful shit.
Or the arms. Why did they go black and white camo shit on the arms?
No, but Brant, in this,
it's
colorful there.
I understand that. You see the sleeve?
I don't. How does that make sense?
The sleeve. No, it does. I don't understand why they did it. I understand that they have it, but the sleeve has this. The sleeve is like camo. Do colorful the color. What are you putting the color on the inside for? Why are you putting the color on the letters at least?
It's reversible. 7th inning stretch. They come out, flip their jersey inside out. Boom.
Also,
that would make kind of cool.
We talked about
the slogan.
Here for that.
We talked about the slogan before, but you can't clip these wings is fucking terrible. That's so shit. That's so bad.
I hate the Orioles.
We couldn't.
I hate the Orioles so much.
It's without a doubt.
Clip those wings.
Yeah, we couldn't. Yeah, and me and Brian have to pay for it. But
I'm protesting that.
No, you're not protesting that.
There was a guy that quote tweeted or tweet about Brian Baker from last year.
He still sucks.
He
still stinks.
He asked way back, it was a couple of weeks ago. He's like, "Well, does Baker still stink?" Because at the time he had a fucking 2 ERA or something. Whatever.
Yeah.
And Baker's only appearance in the series, he gives up a tank. I'm like, still stinks.
Still stinks. But yeah. Yeah, we couldn't clip those wings. And
I'm not buying one of those jerseys. Connor.
Your whole Brant, you can wear a jersey. You can get a jersey.
Jerseys are for people with commitment issues.
I'm fully committing. I have in my cart right now on MLBshop.com. I have the hat, the jersey, and the fucking socks.
Oh, we need to buy the hat too? Well, at least the hat's just a beat.
It's a beat. It's not. I'm going all out, but you don't have to, Brant, because you're being a wimp. You're being you're a hypocrite. You're going against your word.
Yeah.
This isn't new for me.
Dishonest, man.
As we've clearly seen by the intervention, I clearly do not care about wearing other team's jersey to a Jays game.
No. I can't get on board with this ugly ass uniform.
I'm looking for
bad. It's so bad.
Cedric Mullins is one of my favorite players to watch. So if that's the chance to wear a Cedric Mullins jersey,
is that not the Fortnite font? Am I losing it there?
What, the B or the
Baltimore? Isn't that the same font that Fortnite?
I closed it already.
Nate said this. It's the MLB The Show font, font 1.
Yeah, this is a friggin' I got lazy and didn't want to create my Diamond Dynasty team jerseys.
It really is though.
It honestly looks like the way it's sitting on. Who the fuck is that?
That's
Rushman.
I have the Rutschman picture, with the
one with all this. That's Rutschman.
The uniform,
across the little chest, greasy stash thing.
Yeah, that's Rutschman.
That's Adley Rutschman. He looks terrible there. It looks like
yeah, because 2/3 of our podcast don't have a greasy mustache or goatee combo right now.
Tell me it doesn't look like that font.
Oh, it does. That's fully what that looks like.
That's
All right. Well, we can stop talking about the Orioles now.
Our whole podcast has a mustache right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Brant. You're
I'm not tripping the greasy mustache. I just think
The
he looks terrible.
two thirds just have like the mustache. Brant
Yeah.
has like
I committed.
he committed. Well, I'm committing, but
I just grow a nicer beard. Sorry, guys.
Like, patchy. So all right,
Sorry, guys.
Nate, go off on the New York Yankees.
Fuck the Yankees.
Yeah.
Like,
That it? Move on.
And
pretty
pitchforks.
much. Like,
So
they are 100% like scumbags. Like
So-
this is
yeah.
the third instance of a Yankees pitcher this year getting substance checks that
Yeah.
have failed, essentially.
I told him no.
And apparently you just get to wash your hands if you're a Yankee.
Yeah. This is the third. Someone put it. This is the third time the Yankees have been checked. Yankees player in ejection numbers. Yankees players 1, opposing managers 2.
Was Phil Cuzzy a ump on this one?
I don't think he was.
That's why.
Like,
No.
but yeah, it was Clark Schmidt this time against the Cincinnati Reds. And
I didn't hear the quote from Boone after Herman's actual ejection.
Kind of just
And-
took it on the chest and said, "Yeah, he's got to know better."
I don't ever want to hear Boone's
Does he
team.
have to know better?
Yeah, but
Does he?
like
No.
at the time sounded good, but like now,
Like I'm hoping we're all in agreement on this, but everyone in the Yankees clubhouse knows who's using foreign substances, correct? Like
Yes.
we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah.
You're letting
Yeah,
your
getting
pitcher
away
go
with
out
it.
there.
Aaron
Yeah.
Boone's letting his pitcher go.
so for reference, Codify put this out. The percentage of Clark Schmidt's curves and sweepers spinning at least 3,000 RPMs or faster. On May 3rd, it was 10%. May 9th, it was 20. May 14th, it was 48. And the day he got checked, it was 69%. Giggity.
Somebody showed like the spin rate on his fastballs on like that game compared to the rest of the year and how it was like barely up. Like, yeah, it's because he's been cheating all year. I was like, that
Yeah,
doesn't
that was the
change.
Herman thing too. Like people were like, "Oh yeah, his spin rates didn't jump at all." But look at last year
Mhm.
compared to last year,
So
they've
stupid.
jumped.
It's
Like-
so stupid. They try to defend that too. There's not one good thing about the Yankees. Not one.
Aaron Judge is a nice guy. That's about it.
Yeah. No.
About it.
Honestly, no.
No?
He comes off as a nice guy. We'll call it that. He also put out that bullshit quote about how he was trying to get his team to not.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a
Never
load
mind.
of shit.
Fuck him.
A load of shit.
Fuck him.
He's a genuine dude, but no, fuck that.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
if you're an umpire, you got to be doing extra substance checks on the Yankees. Do you not? Like this has to be sending
Now,
off
like,
alarm
yes.
bells everywhere.
Well, do you suspend them or do you just do the checks?
him.
I don't know.
Regardless, you
Because
just have to keep doing
you know
it.
who's
Like,
still suspended?
Domingo Herman.
Yeah. So you should be short 2 players on your roster right now.
Well, Schmidt didn't get
nope. Schmidt didn't.
suspended.
No, that's what I'm saying. You should be.
Mhm.
Like it's ridiculous.
If you get suspended a second time, that should be more, right? Like,
I feel like it is more. Like I think they
Is
put
it?
it in.
Oh, I feel like it should jump big time.
I think you should be done. See ya. See you next year.
50 games, can't move
Yeah.
them off your roster.
Yeah, you're playing with 25 guys. Because then that's incentive on the rest of the team to not be idiots.
Well, and and he has to count as one of your starters. Like you can't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
yeah,
extra
yeah.
starter.
I also think there should be fines on the team. Because then, like, right now, it's like, what does the team care if he cheats? Whatever. If he gets caught, we just bring someone else up. If you have to pay money, like significant money every time someone cheats. No. I hate that team.
Well,
so
and
much.
like to get a warning and then like not 2 weeks later
Do it.
suspended,
Yep.
that should have been something
Yeah.
more than 10.
What's the over under on how many days before the Yankees do this again? Because I think it was
Don't
what,
think it's
3
gonna
days?
it's gonna be a while, I believe.
Yeah, real shit. It was like 3.
Well, it's at
4 days
least
apart.
10 games because Herman's out for 10.
I think it's gonna be a while. I think they realized they fucked up at this point. At least they better realize that because like
Do they?
I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Like I'm trying to look this up. And
You said it on the last one. Did they learn anything? If you're
No.
Clark Schmidt coming away from this, what did you learn? That they're not going to suspend you? That you can just go wash
I
it
don't
up?
know. It doesn't make
Learn
any sense.
dick all.
Yeah.
I think they continue doing this and they probably get caught again not too long from now. And it's not going to matter. Ridiculous. This league's
And it's the Yankees, so nothing will happen.
Mm-hmm.
What else matters on here?
I mean, just quick shout out to Mike Trout because he's already passed Ken Griffey Jr. and I believe it was Pedro Martinez in all-time WAR.
Nice.
So
he's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Guaranteed
easy.
Hall of Fame. First ballot.
Which
100% Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
He should
100%.
be.
It's not even close.
Should be unanimous first ballot. There's no.
we
That's what I
wanna-
mean. He should be 100%.
Do we want to just do the quick hit of American USA soil piece of shit or Japanese piece of shit?
They're both
What-
pieces of shit. They both.
We'll get the quick one out of the way. The A's fired Glenn Kuiper. If you don't know who Glenn Kuiper is, he's the guy that while in Kansas City on live television said the N-word League Museum, the hard R. So they fired him.
Yep.
Good riddance. Okay, now we get to, as I put it, momentum, because it has gone to Japan and swiftly died. Trevor Bauer
How many year contract did he sign?
with
I think it's
the
just the one, wasn't it?
with Japan, I think it was 1 year. But he went, he plays for the Yokohama Bay Stars. He got demoted because his ERA was like a 10. And then the first pitch he threw in his minor league game got fucking destroyed.
In the minors. Oh,
In
it's
the
just
minors.
So good. It's so good.
Because
Maybe
and someone
Sitting out 2 years and just creating YouTube content and pitching to a guy who's only ever played JUCO.
JUCO?
Yeah.
Well, he's the
Isn't-
king.
I mean,
Isn't the best
He's
and
the
can't
king.
hit a curveball.
yeah.
He's the king.
And do you guys want to know what's even funnier? The first pitch, it registered. It was a fastball that registered at 143 kilometers an hour. Now, for the baseball fans of here and to people who know the translations, that
85.
fastball 88.8 miles an hour.
How was
He
the
threw
spin
it-
rate?
Cooked.
Bro, he's cooked. It was an 89 mile an hour
Cooked.
fastball in the Japanese minor leagues.
So cooked.
Fucking
See you later, dude.
Like,
That's so
Get-
nice. I love it.
get out.
I love it.
Speaking of get out, oh Brendan. Yeah, Trevor Bauer, get shit on.
That's so good.
I
Did we talk
liked,
about Gallon last episode?
Gallo?
Gallon?
No,
Gallon?
This is a separate one.
This
Is
is a
it?
separate one.
Did we talk about Gallon though?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Because MLB players don't like birds. This time it was Will Brennan of the Cleveland Guardians, who in last night's game against the White Sox hit a 100 mile an hour base hit off of a bird.
You couldn't do that if you tried.
Dude, and the video of the bird getting hit, it's just ball goes, bird goes,
Poor bird.
gets launched.
That's a tough one. That's two
Yeah.
birds, 2 dead birds in a week.
Yeah, and they had to bring out the shovel. They brought out the shovel.
That's a heartbreak.
Well, they probably had to pick up all the pieces.
You know in Shrek when the bird like sings its way to the explosion?
Yeah,
You think that's what happened to that bird?
I mean that's what happened to Randy Johnson bird.
Yeah.
That bird exploded. These two birds just kind of
Gallon didn't blow his up. He's no Randy Johnson.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I guess we can get to the Dodgers real quick. Julio Urias to the IL.
Mhm.
So that sucks. But it doesn't
That's another
suck.
pitcher. While we're counting, that's
Yeah.
another.
With what though?
It was a hammy, though. It
No,
was a hammy.
come on now.
It was a hammy.
I'm just saying the amount of pitcher injuries this year.
Are we
seem very high.
really like basing this off of Julio Urias though? Like that guy's hurt every 10 minutes.
Nah, but
He led MLB in wins last year.
He's
did
been
he not?
hurt in like every
I think
year except for last year.
yeah, true. But it doesn't matter if you're the Dodgers because you just call up top prospect Bobby Miller.
Bobby Miller, notedly not great in the minors.
No, but he was one of their top prospects.
I understand. He's gonna come up and be a Cy Young candidate because it's the Dodgers and that's just what happens.
Oh, he made his first
Wait.
start against Spencer Strider. Like,
Did he? Did he already make it?
yeah, I think it was yesterday.
I think it's today, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's today. It's today.
Yeah.
It is today. He makes his first start today.
He's got like a 535 in AAA.
Yee. That's not great, but
It's not. He hasn't been great. Which is I'm so excited for him to come up and win the Rookie of the Year or something because
seriously.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The Dodgers just have that magic.
Dodgers are
I think
great.
we only got the one thing left, right? Nothing else.
Yeah, Eric Hosmer getting DFA'd. Shout out to Jay Hay because he fucking just demolished Eric
Obliterated
Hosmer
him? Yeah, that was a
yesterday.
tough one.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, did you know that we have a higher combined WAR in the MLB than Eric Hosmer? Because I
Since
learned that today.
2022, I think, isn't it?
It's 2022. I learned
Yeah.
that today.
Yeah.
Like
Judge beat his career WAR just last year.
Yeah. That's insane.
Eric Hosmer. GG's, buddy. GG's.
Konnor, this thing said you had an announcement. Did you make this announcement?
The announcement was our fucking Orioles thing. Because that's our announcement, Brant. Because you're not fucking reneging.
I don't know what you're talking. I'm cutting that.
You're a man of your word.
That's not my word.
You're gonna cut it from the episode you released like a week ago.
A week ago?
Yeah, I'll delete it.
I have the YouTube clip saved, so it's.
If someone brings it up, tell you what.
It's on my computer.
Somebody else brings it up.
I'll tweet it out right now.
No. If somebody made it to this part of the episode and calls me out on it without any push from you,
someone needs to call
I have beef with you in a second. I forgot.
Oh, go bullshit! This is okay. This is also
someone
part of
needs
the intervention.
Someone needs to call out Brant on Twitter.
Yeah, if someone makes it to this part of the episode, tags all three of us,
and
then I will do it.
And tag the Orioles themselves.
No, don't tag the Orioles. I don't want anything to do with
tag the Orioles.
Fuck that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Please tag us. Please tag us, because I would.
So we did a
beef
draft
with me or
last week.
Connor?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Here's where my real beef. Here's Brant's real beef because.
I forgot to bring this up in the intervention. This is kind of ties in with your bullshit White Sox fandom, because I was winning the draft. Let's just point that out.
Barely.
It does not matter. I was winning the draft, and the draft was dead. No one was voting on the draft anymore until Konnor took it to White Sox land and had
at 3 a.m. At 3 a.m. in the morning.
Had his buddy with 30,000 White Sox followers.
Shout out Herb Lawrence of CHGL.
Yeah. So there's a massive asterisk on Konnor's win, because it was like I think it was like 40%. Konnor was at like 30 something, and Nate was at whatever.
I mean, Brant, you're saying this?
How was I that low?
I don't know. That's a great question. But Brant's
I was
saying
very
this,
stoked with my cream draft.
Here's my thing. Brant is saying this like it ended up being like 2,000 votes for me.
Buddy, it added like 45 votes. You ended up with 70% of the vote.
What's 70% of 65?
I was in the lead when Herb made that tweet, and like instantly it gained like 30 votes for you.
I mean,
garbage. Asterisk does not count. Was not our fans, was White Sox fans. Does not count.
What do you mean?
Does not count. Garbage.
Are we gatekeeping our podcast now, Brand? Is that what we're doing?
No, we're gatekeeping White Sox fans because we're not a White Sox podcast. Despite
we are, God damn it! As long as I have this jersey.
No. Brutal. I'm gonna green screen you out with a Jays jersey on you for every episode we post from now on. It's gonna be way more work for me. But until you come to your senses post intervention.
What do you mean come to my senses? I'm still a Jays fan. I live in Toronto. I do a Blue Jays podcast. I watch the Blue Jays.
I don't believe you.
I'm just gonna say this. Like, if you're gonna blame anybody, blame my work, because they make it a lot easier for me not to watch games, because every day that I work is when the game is on. Like,
let's go to your profile. Your damn header is Yoan Moncada.
It used to be Yoan and Kevin.
Your last retweet was about the White Sox.
What was I supposed to retweet about the Blue Jays?
I don't know. What your last tweet is a Yoan Moncada singing his song video. Your last quote tweet was glad I support a team that sweeps series, as if we didn't sweep your ass 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but since then, how many sweeps have the Jays had?
Don't care. One. 2 since that. We swept the Pirates and the Braves.
I count? No, because the Pirates have 4-13 on 17 games.
Swept them.
Yo, Nate's just sitting.
There are 1, 2,
I just want to go have dinner.
5. There's 5 tweets since your last Blue Jays tweet. I just like to point that out.
Yeah, do you want to know who that tweet was about for the Blue Jays?
Kevin Biggio.
King Kevin.
Monthly walk appreciation.
First walk.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, no. White Sox fan. Brutal. Brutal.
Bro,
I like the White Sox, Connor. I'm not dissing the White Sox by any means.
I'm not like
This fandom has gone too far.
What do you mean
Too
this
far.
fandom's gone too far? I like two
Too far.
teams.
Nope, too far. You can't like two AL teams. That's what I wanted to say too.
I mean,
Liking two AL teams brings bad juju on your team.
I mean, you want to know what's also funny? I
Hmm?
may be the cause of the Leaf bad juju.
You like another Eastern Conference team?
I like the Carolina Hurricanes. I like Andrei Svechnikov,
Bad.
which doesn't help now because they're down 3-0. Like,
see,
bro, like the more that I've done this podcast, the more I just realize I just like baseball in general.
that's fine.
Like,
we all like baseball.
That's fair.
I just like more baseball. Like, because I'm allowed to watch a game that I don't need to give a shit about. It's the greatest thing ever. That's why I love the playoffs. Like,
I'm here for that.
After game 2 of the playoffs.
However, when you wish success upon a team that technically we're competing with right now for that wild card spot, they're not really competing against us because they stink. However, we're technically competing with this team. You are wishing bad juju upon our team.
This isn't bad. I'm not wishing bad juju.
You're wishing bad juju.
You know who's wishing? No, the only person that I'm not. I wish good juju on all this entire team, especially Kevin Biggio. The only person I wish bad juju on is what's his face? Exactly. I can't even name you.
Good old what's his name?
Yeah, good old what's his name?
All right. Maybe next week Connor will have a Jays jersey on. And
Go White Sox.
see? Bad juju. We're done, right? We got nothing else.
Yes, we're done.
Yeah.
Nate's
I feel like we didn't yell near enough on this episode.
We didn't. We really didn't.
I just don't have any anger anymore.
It's just
team's good.
We're just
team's
tired.
good. Get over it. We're gonna be fine.
Win a fucking game.
We're gonna be fine. I don't want to be the guy that sounds like Mike Wilner and is all positive, but like we're gonna be fine. It's a good fucking team.
If they're bad for another week, oh boy.
Then maybe we panic. But
then
right now,
we can.
we're fine. Yeah. We're fine. Everything is fine. All right. We'll see you guys next week or end of the week. I don't know. We'll see you soon. Cheers.